Hey guys, welcome back to InsightJunky, and today I want to talk to you about overthinking. This has been one of the most common problems that everyone seems to be asking me about. Now, in order to solve this problem of overthinking, we first need to define it. Overthinking is basically when you get stuck in a thought loop and you're not able to get out of it. And because of this, your stress levels might go up and you might not be able to think clearly and you may be distracted all the time. Remember, thinking is good, but overthinking is not. In my opinion, overthinking can be basically summarized as fear of the unknown. Think about it. You only overthink about things where you are not certain about what happened or what can happen. So for example, you might start overthinking about what will happen if you fail in your exams. You might start to think about what everyone will say, how your parents might react, and how much time you'll have to waste studying for that subject again if you fail. You might also be scared that all of your friends might move on without you, and on it goes. This is basically the fear of the unknown. You don't know what will happen, and so you overthink. In other words, overthinking is basically your brain trying to figure out a solution to a particular problem, but it's just not able to do that. For example, if you give a computer program a very difficult problem to solve, it might start to overheat because it's running so many calculations at once and it might crash. Overthinking is just like that, but for your brain. So the main mindset shift I want you to make is to stop thinking about overthinking as this huge problem in your life and start thinking about overthinking as your brain trying to help you to figure out the solution for a particular problem. Your brain is your friend, not your enemy. So now that you start thinking like that, I'm going to tell you 3 techniques that you can use to stop overthinking. Number 1 is think about the best case, worst case, and the most likely scenario. Whenever you overthink about a particular problem, your mind keeps coming up with the worst scenarios to a particular problem that may not actually ever happen, but they make you feel stressed anyway. So here's how you deal with that. Firstly, define the problem. What are you overthinking about? Let's say your results are coming out tomorrow and you're overthinking that you might fail. Now, write down the worst case scenario. Yes, you might fail your exam and you may have to give a retest. Now tell yourself that even if that happens, you'll be able to deal with it. Tell yourself that even if you don't believe that it is possible. Now you might be thinking, shouldn't we always think positive? Well, the reason I'm telling you to think about the worst case scenario is because your brain is overheating, it's stuck, trying to figure this out anyway. So if you write it down, your brain will be freed of a little bit of its resources. And now you can counter that. Write down the best case scenario. You write down everything good that can happen to you. That you pass your exam with flying colors and everyone congratulates you and you get the highest grades or whatever. And after this, you write down the most likely scenario. At the end of the day, we all know realistically in most situations what the results are actually going to be. You might already know that you're not going to fail, but you still overthink about that. So think about what is the most likely scenario to occur and what your grades are most likely going to look like. You have now figured out consciously all the possible ways that the situation could go. Now tell yourself that no matter what happens, you'll be able to deal with it. Once you do this whole exercise, most likely you'll stop overthinking about that problem so much. Now the second point is to write out a flowchart. There are some problems that don't exactly have a best case and worst case situation. For example, maybe you had a bad breakup and now you're overthinking everything that went wrong. Or maybe you lost your job and now you're overthinking about everything you did to lose your job. In this kind of a scenario, write out a flowchart like you would write about a particular process. Let's say you had a breakup and now you're overthinking about the whole thing. So start off by writing, what is my problem? The breakup. Alright, what are the things that I did not like about the relationship? Write down the points. What are the things that I did like about the relationship? Write them down. And now out of all of these things, which ones are my fault? Circle them out, and which ones can I fix? Think about that. Just like that, you keep going through the chart. There is no set way to create this chart, but all you need to do is keep asking yourself questions and keep answering them on this chart. Slowly you'll realize that the whole problem is actually simpler than you thought it was. You'll start to feel a sense of relief coming over you, and once you run out of questions to ask yourself, you're pretty much done. And the last point is to use your body. Have you ever noticed that when you're working extremely hard physically, you cannot really overthink? That's because exercise can get you out of your mind and into your body. Do some heavy exercise or go out for a run in nature. Exercise till you're tired. And right after exercising, try meditation. You can watch my video on meditation to learn how to do that. This way you will tire your body and quieten your mind, and it will definitely help you with overthinking. So you see, the way you stop overthinking is by taking action. You cannot fix overthinking by overthinking about overthinking. You can only fix it by working on the problem in a systematic way, by first coming up with the best case, worst case, or most likely scenario, or writing a flowchart, and then using your body. I hope this helps you and it finds you well. If you liked the video, then please click the like button and subscribe if you want to watch more videos about improving yourself. Thanks for watching.